Morning, chat. Morning. Hope you're all doing well this morning. Monday morning. Let's start this week off well. Those of you who were in Discord with me over the weekend were ready for this move. Lots of you already getting the shorts, all right? Lots of you already getting the shorts. Full that open yesterday, full that drive up into 400, gap fill, reversal, and low-hanging fruit's gone. All right, so we did a beautiful move over the open. Very, very probable move. A+ scenario for me, given what we did last week without any pullback. Given how we ended Friday, anyone that was watching Friday after the close on Friday, 30 minutes after the close, US credit got downgraded by Moody's. Instant sell-off in about, 2 minutes. We gave back the whole of Friday's move, and we've been selling off ever since. Okay, so now we have to decide what the game plan is. So let's have a quick look. Weekly chart. You can see last week, big candle so far, opening up inside previous week. All right, so this week I'm expecting some form of pullback. One thing I want to say is when this last happened with Fitch, we have to go back to August 2023. Let's just find that here. All right, when we last had that, I don't know what this is. Let's get rid of that. That's ugly. When we had Fitch downgrade us in August 2023, I want you to just look at this. These were all-time highs at the time, right here. This was the move down, and we started bidding back up aggressively, and then Fitch came out and downgraded us, and it allowed us to pull back to the lower Bollinger Band. This is about a 10 to 11% pullback before going to all-time highs. Notice what it looks like, all right? Big version. Here's the news. There's the downgrade all the way down to here, and then we drive. All right, I want you to look at that. What does that look like? What do we look like right here? All right, exactly the same. There's the supply, there's the drive down, there's almost like a V shape back to the top of the cup. Here's the news. What would I like to see over the next coming weeks? Pull back to here, all right? This news be the catalyst to give us like 10% pullback to here before this move up to the top bowl. All right, and this bowl will start to catch up as we start to pull back. Would be ideal. So that's what I'd like to see. Whether we get it or not is a whole different thing. All right, but weekly we're opening up inside. If we go to a daily chart now, you can see we left last week's highs up here. We did close the gap. All right, overnight we closed the gap. We haven't closed it yet for cash in the New York session, but overnight. There's last week's close. There's this week's open. There was the gap fill. That was your short opportunity. And you would have targeted Friday low and then Thursday low, both of which we've now taken. All right, so we're into what? We're into this giant imbalance from here. If we think about this as a weekly candle, from the weekly open to the weekly, let's do weekly high, weekly low. All right, we can think about a pullback into this kind of area. 950s. If we can get into there, it would be ideal for first stop. So ideally today, I'd like a pop with shorts to come back in for a rotation, partials into this imbalance, hold a runner in case we get down to that 61 fib, and then I'll be risk off. All right. If we start reclaiming this old range, remember this is the old range. If we start reclaiming in here and finding bids, I'm not thinking about a short at that point because it means all the shorts have chased and we're probably going to drift higher at that point. All right. And that's probably a no trade scenario for me. So I'm very, very aware of that. Also want to keep this 5-day as dynamic resistance. I want this 5-day. If we're going to trend back down into this area here for the 200-day retest, by then the 20-day would be there. If we're going to do that move, I need this 5-day to roll over and work as resistance for us to get down into here. And from that point, I'll be looking to bid back up. All right. That might take a number of weeks. It doesn't have to happen in one go, just so we're aware about that. Let's move into the higher time frames. All right, hourly. You can see right here, get out of it. Put the SVP on. You can see the key levels from last week. All right, so from Friday, value area low, sort of 21,000. You might as well call it 21,400, 21,380. That's what we went in fill. That's where the gap is. Point of control, 21,435. Value area high, 21,477. All right. I want this to stay heavy. Basically, these pivots here, I want these to stay heavy. This back test needs to stay heavy for a rotation back down into this level here. 21,000, let's just call it. That's what I'm looking for. All right, basically the build out of some form of bear flag to do that. If we're going to trap, it's probably going to take a wick first, like this wick here at 300, before doing something like this. If it needs to trap bulls, if it needs bulls to come in and look for that closure, that's what's going to have to do. It's going to have to take or build some liquidity before going lower. So I am aware of it. So 200 to 300, absolutely key. Above 300, right, or any move into here that starts to base and pop and grind, okay, this is not a short at that point. That is back inside of old range. That is a problem. That can be drifting higher, and maybe they rotate it later in the week if they do that. So if you're looking for the follow through, you're gonna need it to stay heavy, ideally versus 250 and 300s. Reclaim of that, no bueno, my friends, no bueno. All right, so there is a long opportunity here if it starts to reclaim. It's not the type of thing I like on a day with news is so heavy, because we've also had the Fed talking very hawkish this morning. That is possible. It's not something I like, but it is possible. So I'm going to point out what's possible there. I'd much rather pops fail. All right, if we get into that range, it's likely to be very, very choppy. You can see it here on a 30-minute chart, nice and clean. There was the Friday slam. There was the push up on Sunday, and there was the drift lower. Okay, and from this point, we're just going to wait and see. Same story with the lower time frame. All right, everything currently bearish right now. We're breaking out of range. Nothing's changed there. We're looking at the same things. Grey box here is just the gap for those that are interested. We can have a quick look. I want you to see a few things which are important. VIX being one of them. Hello. Look at that gap up. All right, massive gap up. This is supply up here. We can move this up. I don't know why it's different on this screen to my other one. And you would say this level right here becomes key. And this level here as potential support. And then obviously the lows all the way down here. All right, if VIX builds, starts to build some form of flag in here for that rotation, this market will sell off. All right, this is a big gap up. That's where we closed. This is where we're gapping up. 17s to 19s. Start reclaiming, 1980s, 20s into gap fill 21s. Bearish market if we start doing that. All right, so I want you to be aware of the VIX. Have one eye on it. It will make life a little bit easier for you. It's the same story on ES, although I'll tell you what, ES was pretty resilient last night. It did not want to roll over, and it has not fully broken down yet. You can see, all right, ES has not come and taken these guys out here yet. All right, so we can think about that from a fib. It's definitely got relative strength right now. It's going to draw the fib. From this swing low to the swing high, it's still holding golden zone. All right, so I'd say on the ES, you need this 50%. 923, 925, that's your key level over under. They reject this, good chance they come back for these lows. They reclaim that, good chance we chop around the rest of the day. So I'll be watching that 923 to 925 on the ES. Let's have a quick look at the MAG. How are we doing for time? Not too bad. Here we go, here we go. All right, Apple. Gapping down, there's your close. Into key levels, same story as the Qs right here. Dangling here, has swept. Dangling here, will need to reject. I'd say two tens, somewhere around there. Microsoft, relative strength. All right, washed down, stopped some out. There's your pivot, still holding in range. Can still make, can still break down, but strength so far versus the others. But definitely gapping down versus previous day high, previous day close. Amazon, that's a weaker one. All right, you can see just in structure. So it wants to come and retest these guys here. There's a big pocket here, isn't there? There's your pocket. All right, good chance for it to do that if it gets weak, if they can't protect it. Goog had a good rally back last week, all right, gaining back all of these. But if it starts to find sellers up at these levels right now, 167s and a breakdown under 163, anything like this, we go back downside. Meta, weak, giving back profits after a huge drive last week. There's your pivot right here. Just call it 20s. 21s and 20s take you to 11s, all right? That's your pivot. You can set alerts there if you need. Nvidia, I'd say any bear flag versus this for breakdown, any reclaim of 34s, 35s, you probably risk on again. But so far, potential for a breakdown. You can see the difference, can't you? Now, all of these look the same, grinding up, grinding up, grinding up, grinding up. Trap the bulls, breakdown, you're looking for trades back in to get short into. You're going to have to wait for sellers to take momentum. Tesla, all right, couldn't hold that 350, same kind of story. There's your shift. You know, is there a push up that sells to take out some of these pivots? So all the mag pretty much in alignment. They're not too far off. Pretty much in alignment. I did not want NQMX. I just wanted NQM. Just give me the normal contract, please. There we go. All right, so you should all be prepared. You know what I'm looking for. Short bias, all the time it's staying heavy. All right, need pops to fail. If we start reclaiming range, possibly a no trade scenario at that point. We'll have to wait and see. Let's have a quick look at the book. There is a buyer at 21,100 and 21,000 flat. Not seeing any, big selling on the book here, as in no limit orders above that I'm particularly looking at. Let's get through some good mornings. See who's here in chat. Did any of you make money over that Sunday session? Hopefully some of you did. Oh, my back. Let's have a look. Let's get through the poll first, shall we? Shall we end this poll? What did you all say? Big typo in the poll, which didn't help, did it? Most of you bearish today. Some of you thinking Matt Chop, most of you bearish. All right, good morning, Ramus, Jesse, Clint, Jake Up One, Marek, Toby, Ken, John, Leron, Chris, Brandon, Jeff, Eva, Hartwell, Mike, Exister, Raphael, Bruce, Trentry, Array, Paul, John Lucan, Dopamine Machine, Stephen W., Johnny FX, Abe, Aga, Gus, John Dennis, and Brad. Hey, John got $1,500 last night. Love it. Yeah, lots of you in Discord did well. We were well prepared for it, weren't we? We were well prepared for it. We knew what was coming. It was just, could you execute it? Were you at the charts? Unfortunately, like you guys know, I called it for you, but I went and sat by the pool. John Lucan, I caught 200 point last night. One of my best trades, sold and added on the way down. Hey, that's when you're trading well. That is when you're trading well. When you're adding into a winner, fantastic. Fantastic. Nice work, team. Okay, so you're prepared for today. You need to be careful. I'd be watching that Thursday low, which we're trading near right now. It's going to be key. If we start reclaiming that, we can probably drive a bit higher. I'm thinking shorts. If it rejects range, I'm not just going to short into the morning drive. I'm going to need to see it shift into a sell. All right. What I don't want to do, all right, if this is sort of our channel down that we've been selling in all night, all right, and we just do a drive up and I start selling and selling and selling and it keeps driving and driving and comes up to test the gap, all right, that is a blow up scenario. So don't want to be doing that. All right, so I need to see something like that. Clear out there would be really nice, and then failures back in range and then roll over. Something like that. It doesn't even need to get that high. Maybe just clears this one and then gets stuck. I don't care what it does, but I'm going to need to see sellers step into the market if I'm going to be interested. I'm not going to short the lows. Remember, we're gapping down right now 300 points. I don't want to just slam shorts at the lows. Juan Carlos, good morning. Firewater, good morning. All right, team. So market opening here in 10 seconds. Got my coffee on the go. Haven't had my painkillers. I'm off my painkillers now. I've had 3 sessions on my back. I've got 2 more sessions this week. Here's the morning drive. Big old squeeze up. Mag all opening down. There's your drive into the 230s and VWAP. Previous day low for us is all the way up at 320s. The spiders previous day low sitting at those 23s and 25s that we talked about. Big level when we get up there on the spiders. They will need to sell that level. If they don't sell that level, you're in reclaim territory. It's very, very dangerous at that point. A big morning drive here for the market. How do we act once we start reclaiming? Where do we go? How far up do they squeeze this? Who knows? No one knows. They can do some nasty move here if they really want to. Like we said, we've been short all night. Everyone's net short. What they want to do is drive some of those shorts out of the market. So I'd be watching, I mean, all the way, if they want to go into gap 300s, let's just see. Let's see here, folks. Hey, ain't us? Lots of buying coming in here this morning, lots of covering. Here's that level on the ES already, coming back to test that previous day low. 5-day moving average just above that. If it starts pushing above that, I'd say these shorts will be in big trouble. If they start doing that, the shorts will be in big trouble. If they start selling this, this could be the inclination of the start of the bigger sell. So back towards VWAP here. Do they start selling VWAP here? I've got a tiny piece on just in case they're going to start selling aggressively. Don't want to see any reclaims though. Would have to, don't like that straight away. Break even on that first attempt. So just put a little piece on in case it wanted to go. Just a little one lot. Seeing rejection there in front of previous day low on the ES. That's the big level we said, 23 to 25. Are they going to let this go, or are they going to hold VWAP here on the Qs? Microsoft gone green. VIX coming into a key level there as well, 1913s. If ES holds VWAP here, it's got one more drive out, I would say, through that previous day low. That's what I'm watching. That's why I took the break even. How high are they going to go? Can they go and back test the 5-day? Can they sweep some of that liquidity? Just cleaning up some of my ES charts here. So previous day low, they held the VWAP on the ES like I talked about. They're looking for that previous day low move right now on the VWAP. On the ES, if they get through 23s, they're going to go and back test towards 25s. 5-day moving average at the moment, sort of 29s. If they start reclaiming that, I think shorts are off. Other than like a push through, steal liquidity and turn inside. If they start reclaiming those levels, I think shorts would be caught. You can see this strong trend sideways starting to reclaim. Have to be careful when we do that. Need to move this down, don't I? Let's put it on a 2-minute here. Starting to reclaim. You can see these pivots up here. Lots of resting liquidity, I'd say, into this 300. We can move this sort of up to here as well. I'd say there's lots of resting liquidity into the higher time frame algo. It looks like previous day low here again on the ES. Again, through here, they go 5-day moving average, and then they, you know, I'd say where it would get dangerous for the shorts is 35s. They get through in base between 35s and 25s, the shorts are going to be caught. Those shorts from overnight will be caught if we get up there. At the moment, all the mag is red other than Microsoft. So Tesla's 4.5% down, Nvidia 1.71% down, Meta 1.23% down, Google 0.80% down, Amazon 1.55% down, Apple 2.50% down, Microsoft 0.39% up. So relative strength in Meta, rest of the market bleeding. There's the 5-day. Here comes the 5-day. Key levels here, like we talked about on the ES, 23s to 25s, 5 days up at 28, 29 right now. If NQ wants to go to previous day low, by the way, it's got to get up to 320. That is what we did last night. That was a big level last night. We drove, we closed the gap, we failed previous day low, we stayed heavy underneath it, and we washed. Big opening drive this. It's impressive. It is impressive. Shorts definitely covering on that morning push. See how we act around the VWAP here across the indexes. Some selling starting to come in here. I would like to see one more drive higher, clean out some of the liquidity, but maybe we're not going to do it. Back to VWAP we go. Get up. I would love to see it drive up towards 300s right now. Watching that H1 to, what's that H1 high? 291. Just going to have a look at the 4 hour here. 291s. Okay. We start reclaiming this range up here. I will not think about shorts. I will just let it do whatever it wants. I will just have to admit that the short was overnight and I didn't get it if that happens, which is fine. It's fine. I did get a very small piece last night. I was positioned for a bigger sell, but it knocked me out. So 290s, 291s, resting liquidity up there. Get through that previous day low check. If you get through that, if you're long in this for the squeeze, if you get through that, you can think about that gap. Here's the 5-day on the ES. So these are your levels. If you got long in this, if you were like, I'm going to get long out the gate for this, you need to be taking partials in here. All right. And your final target will be in this gap. I would not hold on to this too long other than having a runner. There's the 290s. Is there a seller at 300? There is, not too much size yet. Starting to see some reclaims here. Five-day working as resistance right now on the ES. I still think if they start chewing through this, then they're going to go 34s and then 50s. And that will be a major problem for the shorts who are holding from overnight. So you're going to start causing like a big old squeeze out where they get forced to cover their positions, looking for a deeper move down, which is not being given to them. It's just if you got long out the gate, it's just a counter trend where we've swept. We swept down here. Remember, this was major levels under here. We've started reclaiming. We're not breaking down, and it's in a squeeze. I didn't take the long, but it's there. And there's the reclaim of all the flow zones and the lower time frame algo. So we're going from lower time frame algo to higher time frame algo. We're building liquidity on the higher time frame market right now. Between this sort of pink and blue line and this red line here, those are liquidity levels that it likes to build at. It can peak through both sides, and a trend develops when we get outside of one level. Still a massive squeeze out here. High time from algo now being tapped. Previous day low not too far away there, 320s. And you've got an imbalance from 320 to 350 if it really wants to do it. All right, so these are the kind of levels where I want to see sellers come in aggressively. If they don't come in aggressively, then there's no trade set up to the short side here. If you do not see these higher time frame sellers come back in, then there's no trade set up. Let's have a quick look at the market. Tesla still 4% down. Nvidia trying to reclaim some of its losses from overnight, 0.69% down. It's aggressively being bid back up here. Meta just under 1% down. Google 0.5% down. Amazon just under 1% down. Apple just under 3% down. Previous day low looks like the target here on the Qs. I'd say like ES still wants to go for those 35. Starting to reclaim big levels here. Like I said, you don't want to get short in the hole, so need to see this kind of drive up like we talked about, steal some liquidity and it roll over. If it doesn't roll over, there's no short. We can just admit that it happened overnight without us, and we go back into range. Fun. Back into the old range. That will not be ideal. And just measure out again from coming into that 50% mark that we talked about here. This blue line, 61 will be 380. It's from previous week high to current day low. Squeezy. Here's previous day low. We're going for gap now. About to tap the gap. This is a mega squeeze. These shorts are cooked. Absolutely cooked. ES taking that liquidity at 35s. I think it's just taken it, or there or thereabouts. Next level up on ES, if it really wants to get going, is 50. Into the gap we go then. Wild. Market's still in a sell other than Microsoft. But this is very impressive from this market. It's a huge squeeze out. Very impressive. Do the sellers come back in? How long we got? Still got 4 minutes until your opening range is even set. This opening range is going to be pretty big here, isn't it? Let's set that New York open. It should set on auto. Is that it there? 203. Yeah, that's it. Okay, good. So far tapping into the gap, finding a couple of sellers there. Nothing major yet. This feels very, very, very squeezy right now. VIX into its gap as well. I'm going to see if sellers come in, if they want to roll over or not. Time will tell. If they do, we know where we want to go. If they don't, then we're going to be back inside previous week's range. These are the kind of levels, though. It's here or hereabouts where I want to see sellers. We talked about it pre-market. So previous day low, so far they're holding firm versus that, holding the gap. Now, are they going to start rolling over here? These are scary, scary moments because if they don't, shorts get caught real, real bad. But we're extended from flow zones, we're extended from VWAP, we're coming back into key levels. The selling is starting to come into the market now. I'm starting to put small amounts on. I know it feels horrible, it feels counter trend, but all the time, if we're going to sell through 300, I'm interested. I just haven't got a fill yet. Looking to get a fill here to see if they're going to let go, and then I'm going to need to see it let go of 290s and 264s and what's that there? 224. Still no fill yet. Thought about putting 300s, but that absorption does not look pretty. I wanted to see it stay heavy with a big kill candle and then come back in. I was looking for something like this, and we didn't do it. We just absorbed before. You can see they absorbed under 300s. They're holding 300s, which, oh, pretty scary there if I'm thinking short. Oh, calm down, Trading View. What are you doing? Got my mouse going all over the place. Back into the gap then. Maybe they're going to go for gap fill. If they're not going to stay heavy versus previous day low, maybe they're going to go for the gap fill. This just doesn't seem to be working very nice. There we go. That looks better, doesn't it? So if they reclaim gap, they're going to go up here. So grey box is your gap, your new week opening gap. We can move this to a 1 minute. There we go. Morning, Miguel. So I'm trying to look at where buyers are on the book. Still down at 21,000. Not really. I was going to say 200, but not really even there. Thinned out quite a lot here, to be honest. While they make a decision, I guess. Banging on that new week opening gap here. What's your ATR here this morning as well, folks? I'd say it feels a bit more spiky. We had highs of 50 points on the ATR per 1 minute. So volatility definitely up. You can see it in the VIX, but VIX drifting back into its gap. No bid to be found on the VIX as we just fly higher in this market. Opening range now set, folks. Your opening range high is the top of the new week opening gap right now. Still, this market is all red other than Microsoft. Microsoft, the only one up. All right, we are in a squeeze. You can see it's a squeeze. We've gone straight up from the open. Reclaimed view up, straight upside. Let's in fact do... I'll have to get this print in now because I'm using the old one. 9:30. That's your New York. And let's get an anchor off New York. There we go. Where's my phone? Don't leave it next door. I'll be right back. we go. Sorry, folks. All right, so dancing between the new week open gap, the opening range high, and previous day low right now. Previous day low at 19s and 20s. Let's just see. We're bullish lower time frame right now, but to me it's a big old squeeze out. And what they do next is important. If we think about that higher time frame that we went over, if they're going to stay reclaiming these levels, you can't think about shorts. All right, if they're going to stay, this is the old range, isn't it? All right, this is not where we want to see. You need a rejection here and a roll for any continuation. If they don't do that, if they start holding these levels, then we're back into range and we're into chop zone. And that is not where I want to be. I do not want to be into chop zone. Not something I want to trade with. So again, I feel like broken record, but how many times are we going to say it? Asia and London get all the fun, and we are getting trading back into levels I don't want to trade into. So let's just see. Hopefully we get a rejection here for a continuation, or at least a retest towards the lows. All right. If we don't get the rejection up here, I'm going to be very, very careful about what I do for the rest of the day. Starting to see selling versus that gap though. Watching the 5-day moving average on the SPY. We're over it on the SPY right now. We're under it on the QQQ. Market's still heavy. Microsoft, the only one green. We're trying to claw back on some of the names, but it's fairly lopsided. It feels like a crowded trade to me at the moment. It feels like everyone was probably looking for the same thing and hence getting squeezed out. I would assume that's what it is. If we start reclaiming this gap, oof, it's going to get ugly for a lot of people. 350s here, you can see them building liquidity there. Just checking the news here to see if there's anything. So there's a Trump-Putin call, is there? Is that at 10 o'clock? What a squeeze. What a giant, giant candle here on the H1. 11 minutes left until this finishes. We're about to close this gap. 400 will be gap fill. Yeah, I think he's got a call. I think Trump's got a call with China, which they're saying that they're going to do with Putin, which they're saying they're going to do a readout from. Look at that reclaim. So it looks like ES wants to take out the 50s. That's what it looks like to me. And you got to think if we do that, we reclaim 400s. We might as well just go for previous day high, and then anything that happened overnight in the weekend was well erased basically. You've got your opening range high up here. All right, if you're playing the orb, it's a big old orb right now. That's your orb. This box, I can box it in for you if you want. Make it easy for you to see. Where's your high? It's about, is that your 1545? That's your opening range. All right, so that's your orb for those of you that are orb traders. Still very bullish here, very squeezy. Buyers coming in here at 350, 337s. It's actually quite incredible how, how aggressive they've been here this morning for that push up. The volume's all buying volume right now. So shorts being forced to cover right now. QQQ, SPY into key levels here. I'd say if SPY is going to keep going, it's going to go 592.15s if it doesn't reject here. It'd be insane if they do a gap fill. But we've seen weirder and wilder things, haven't we? Like we have seen it in these markets. Absolutely seen it. Flag after flag after flag here. No deep pullback. And what do we say when there's no deep pullback? That's when shorts are stuck. You can see straight up, no deep pullback. That's when shorts are stuck. Shorts are always stuck when there's no deep pullback because it doesn't let them out. All right, and that's kind of the signature that it's a squeeze often. So the question really is how far can they sustain this? If they squeeze them all out and it doesn't get paired off, then we go back downside. If genuine bids keep coming in here, I'd say this orb level, previous day low, these are going to be big levels here for it to make a decision. How long we got to the new hour? Still got time for the new hour as well. Plenty of time here. Another 8 minutes left. There is liquidity up there from that overnight high all the way at 420. Wild that I'm even saying that. But it's there if it wants it. Again, absorbed there. Again, the only thing up right now is Microsoft. This feels like Friday. I think it was Friday. It was either Thursday or Friday. We were drifting up with the mag in a sell. None of the mag went green, and then suddenly we sold it all off. It's interesting how they're able to do that, you know. Ironclad, oh, you're looking for that move to 420s? I don't hate it right now. I wouldn't be a buyer here. It's way too high. And this hourly candle is huge. Just repairing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 hours of damage repaired in what, like 20 minutes, 23 minutes. Wild stuff. Wild stuff. So do they hold the orb? Do they hold flow zones? Do they hold previous day low? Or do they roll? I mean, it can give this whole move back this morning. That's the truth. That's the scary thing. But I would say it's probably driven up too far and it's shaken a lot of weak hand shorts out. So if it pulls back and it holds 300s, shorts are cooked. It's game over because it's a failed breakout of the range. Again, we talked about that in Discord. You got to be careful. That last failed breakout of the range came last Thursday. We dipped underneath, found buyers. We've just done it again overnight. We've dipped underneath. Same play overnight again. Dips underneath, finds buyers in New York session. Still holding here. It's impressive. Still building liquidity. Hasn't really even tested the orb fully. I'd say those 300s, 330s, 320s is going to be key. Fail that, we go straight back down to that wick test of 290s or whatever it is. Under that, it gets a bit more dangerous for the bulls. But, you know, we're so close to taking Globex high out here. Wild. Wild stuff. Well, I've been waiting for the short. I had one attempt, took it off. Thought about taking another, didn't put it on. I'm waiting for the short. But like I said, if we start reclaiming ranges, we're inside previous day now. Right, which means unless we get outside, unless we get under previous day low, if we hold this, this is a chop day because this is an inside bar with a failed breakout. If we get back under this and stay heavy, there's a rotation, but not until then. So we're inside the previous day's bar, which is awful for anyone thinking about any continuation. This signals chop when we're inside previous day, like we know. We're inside previous week, we're now inside previous day, we're inside Globex, inside. Not ideal. Not ideal for my setup that I was looking for. I was looking for a rejection around here, not a reclaim and a straight squeeze. ES new highs. ES is going for the 50s, I'm telling you. It might as well just go for the gap fill reversal now on ES. It's that strong a move. It must have caught so many offside here. Got a slight divergence here. VIX cannot find a bid. What is the 50% mark on that? Let's go from previous day low, current overnight high. VIX into 1833 would be key. 1830s down to 1820s in terms of a fib. Look at them absorbing in front of this orb and the bottom of the gap. Still absorbing the bottom of that gap and orb, basically 330s, 340s. How long we got? 3 more minutes until the new hour. If you look at the daily chart now, it looks gross, doesn't it? We swept the low-hanging fruit overnight. If we're going to hang around here all day, there's not going to be much to do. So let's just see, folks. Mag's still all red other than Microsoft. Amazon, though, not too far away. I'm going to say that. Amazon's got a shot of going red to green here. Trump talking 3 minutes, is he? Great. All he's doing is talking with Putin. I don't understand. Right? It's a phone call with Putin at 10 o'clock. Shouldn't that be private? Just building liquidity here into that new hour. 420 really doesn't look far away, but let's see. Back to those zones, back to the top of the opening range. Blue box. ES just still holding all gains. VIX still cannot find a bid, and we're inside of the new week opening gap. This is just not an area I want to trade in. We haven't seen a reaction here that I wanted to see on a drive up. So there's no sellers at the moment. So can't be thinking about the short. There's no sellers. Book starting to massively thin out here. Maybe into the Trump talk. I don't know. Can see it. So I'd say outside of 400 and 350 gets very thin. Very thin. What are they going to do? Do a call and say, hey, the war's off, and then we just go to new all-time highs instantly? All right. Knowing this market, really wouldn't surprise me. Would not surprise me. All right, new hourly candle coming. We're closing this hourly candle very, very high. I'm looking at that sort of high point from Globex where we failed from 416, 420, wherever it is. It feels like that's where it wants to try and go at the moment. I'm not trading long up to it. I'm just looking to see if it gets up there and how it acts. But we've reclaimed the levels, so my short thesis is kind of gone for now. There's no... we're very bullish. Look at the flow zones. Look at lower time frame, higher time frame conditions. Look at where we are. We've reclaimed everything. No sellers present this morning at all. No drive was met with selling. Every drive, the book's completely thin. There's no one at home now. There's a buyer at 350 and there's nothing else. So they've thinned out. Market makers probably waiting. News algos probably turned on to see what Trump says. It'd be lovely to have a day where he doesn't talk. That would be nice, wouldn't it? That would be nice. One can pray and hope for a day where it's nice and clean without the back and forth of press secretaries and Donald. I mean, just nonsense being said by the White House this morning. Chinese producers will be absorbing the cost of tariffs. No, they won't. That's why Walmart have already come out over the weekend, said they're going to need to put up their prices. So continuing to hold here, continue to build above the orb. There are no shorts available here right now. This market is in a full old squeeze out, which means what I wanted to do this morning has not happened, so I can't trade. Just have to sit here and do nada, unfortunately. I'm not buying in this new week opening gap. No way. And what's he saying? Some lot of bollocks, no doubt, to cause this. Reclaiming all levels, back to previous day open now. Globex, like I said, not too far away. Seems highly probable that we get up there at this point. 950s here on the ES, like we talked about as well. This is just crazy without any notable pullback. $420 is not far away. That's your Globex level. Already filled the gap now, by the way, folks. New week opening gap filled. So 420s right here. This red line here is your Globex level that we traded into. If we get through that, we go all the way to previous day high and previous day close, and we ignore any news that came over the weekend at all. It was all nonsense, apparently. Repriced it over the weekend, and now we go straight up. Hilarious. What a wild time. 400's tapped. Might as well get to 420. Why are you not going to 420 if you're going to get this high? Probably a very crowded trade like we talked about. This is often what happens. When everyone's looking for the same thing, it doesn't happen. Same as last week. Everyone wanted SPY 600 into Friday. Didn't happen. Now everyone wanted that breakdown. Didn't happen. So if you played what you wanted and not what it showed you, you got in trouble. We're inside range now. I really think this can just build out liquidity for the day. Trap all those shorts. Another failed breakdown in the Globex session, being absorbed in New York, and we go straight back upside. It's exactly what we saw Thursday last week. It's a rinse repeat of it. Just kind of wild, but have to respect what we're seeing. Like, that's just what we're seeing. Got a bit of a pin high there on the ES. Is it just going to break straight back through it? I've no idea what we're trying to do here, market. What are we doing, market? Are we just going to keep squeezing all day long? New hourly bar. Still expanding higher. Still got that 420 to aim for if it wants to go for it. So we filled that new week opening gap. The grey box you can see came right to the top of it. We've left Globex, which is at 420. The Globex high is at 420. That's where we failed from overnight. We know there are swing short stops there. So in my head, it's going to go there. And this 950 on the ES seems to be key here. We swept liquidity on the spiders. Did we sweep that overnight? We did sweep it on the spiders, by the way. The equivalent of Globex, or that print high. We've swept. Let's just check the ES where that level is. Yeah, we've swept. Can't get my words out. We've swept it on the ES as well. Right, so you got divergence here. Trump must be talking because you can feel this bid suddenly come in here. Book's thin. Book is thin, 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 thin. You can see all the grey areas on Bookmap. So you've got like a few players and then nothing. I'm not seeing anything hit the news here. They're adding liquidity at 450 now, so they're trying to drag it upside even more. And I'm sat here like a lemon. There's nothing I can do here. If it doesn't set up with what I want, I've got my thesis wrong. I just have to sit and wait. I'm not going to buy when we've rallied 200 points off the open in the first 30 minutes. I'm not buying the highs. No way. Top of this new week opening gap. Still just sat here. There you go. There's the swipe like I talked about. Felt like it was coming. 420 is now taken. Are we going to go for a gap fill now? That would be my question now. As crazy as that seems, that would be my question now. What an insane market this is. Amazing resilience. And the pump continues. Sorry. The pump continues through all the key levels. The only thing left now is previous day close and previous day high. They're literally shaking off Moody's like it doesn't exist. It's wild. But, you know, you can't bet against this right now. It's saying upside, so I'm going to assume it's going to go upside. Where's my bookmap? Just shut down. Hello. There we go. So 450 next on the book, and above that 500. Crazy that we're talking about that, but that is what we are talking about right now. It's nuts. In my head, that is absolutely nuts. But it is what it is. Holding that Globex level here for now. Dip still being absorbed. You've got to think it wants to go PDC. I'm kind of gutted I'm not in this, but my thesis was to wait to see if sales came in. They didn't come in, so I just get stuck here. Probably should have flipped thesis here, but I don't really want to buy after that up here. But am I going to live to regret it? It feels like it. It definitely feels like I'm going to live to regret it. I don't have that data gap, Tyson, on Ninja, but I'm taking data from Tradeovate, but I don't have a gap. Look at the QQQ. It's almost filled its gap to PDC. SPY not far behind on the ETFs. They're almost there. They are almost there, folks. Wild. Microsoft now green. Amazon now green. Meta now green. Just shaking it all off. It doesn't matter. Nothing matters. It doesn't matter that we can't repay our debt. It doesn't matter. Resilient market. You have to respect it. You can see I got it wrong today. I was looking for continuation that never came. So what does that look like? It looks like that. There's your break even, and there's the trade overnight, which I positioned for and never went, and that's it. Sat on my flipping hands like a mug. Do you? I don't have the data gap. It's printing fine for me. Still drifting higher here. The wild thing is, if this spring works in a day, if you think about a Wyckoff spring, it's going to be absolutely mental. All right, we had it here, failed breakdown, new highs. here, fail breakdown, new highs, but it's going to do it in one session. If it breaks out a previous day, previous week high, 1, 2, 3 lots of stops there, it will be mental. I don't think I've ever seen that for a move that big in terms of a spring setup, a Wyckoff spring setup in one session. Oh, maybe on the M and Q, yeah. It's why I always chart on the NQ but trade on the M and Q. Maybe on the M and Q you get a data gap, but if you're able to look at the NQ, you might not get it. Sorry, I'm having to try and get my back opening up here. Oh. It looks like it wants 500s to me. That's what it looks like. It looks like it wants 500s. No sign of slowing down right now. Absolutely mental. Is this the first sign of... Nope. I was going to say of a breakdown, and then instantly it's seen the absorption on the tape. Man, if they let this go here, it'd be hilarious. Back to Globex. You'd think they'd just want to go and gap fill now. They're that close, you might as well do it. But maybe they just don't have the juice. I don't know. I don't know, folks. Globex right here. Through Globex. Selling starting now. Watching the hourly, last hourly high. Where was that? 75s. Last hourly high, 75s. Just into a little imbalance here. Still holding flow zones. Still above the old gap. Still has a reason. Yeah, they could trap longs. I mean, it's a very deep drive to trap longs. That's the one thing I'd say. It's far too high to trap longs, but it's possible, Tyson. Like, that's what I don't like. This thought here, right? This roll over here, you would have liked to have seen them reject this kind of range here. Up here, now you've got short stuck. So, you know, 1, 2, 3. We get through that. The breakout could be massive through that. Because this become a spring, trap the shorts down here, go upside and go. To do that in one session is what's actually more mental than anything else. It's the ability to do that move in one session. When you're thinking about a 1, 2, 3, 4 4-day range, a failed breakout of a 4-day range to go right back to the upside is pretty impressive. So ES trying to find a bid now on that little pivot from Friday pre-market 820. Trying to find a bid there in front of 50s, basically. Still bullish. Everything's still bullish here. There's no shift. This can still go for gap fill. VIX is still being sold into 1850 now. Yeah, don't front run it. Definitely don't. Like you said, I was waiting for the short. It didn't come. It's just how it is sometimes. What I want, if what I want doesn't happen, there's nothing there to do. Fitch ratings, macroeconomic uncertainty raises global structured finance downside risk. Okay, so Fitch now joining in the party saying, you know, we've got some problems here. Market doesn't care. Market's in a squeeze. Market is in a giant squeeze right now. Nvidia now green, Amazon green, Microsoft green. Tesla well down, Meta not far away from going green. It went red to green, green to red. Google too far away right now. Apple way too far away right now, over 2% down. Book still feels a little thin around here. I'd say like outside of 412 and 450, it's like pretty thin. There's like a 50-point jump either side, pretty easy without any notable size. So you can see every dip still holding, it's going up here. You might be thinking, why am I buying? It's just, I find it quite hard to buy when this reversal happens this steep. Look how steep that is. That's a normal trend. This is a very, very steep trend. That's how I know it's a squeeze. It's straight up right now. Where's a channel? We can put a channel in here. This is very aggressive right now. I do not want to fight this, that's for sure. If shorts are offside, do not want to fight it. If we start breaking out a previous week high, I don't know whether to join long at that point, because it just feels like that move could be monstrous. Absolutely monstrous. If we break out a previous week high, why am I saying that? Again, just the higher time frames, right? Oh, don't do that. One set of stops, two set of stops, three set of stops. Shorts are trapped under here. There's been no pullback to do this, which would be healthy. But if we take these guys out, oh my God, the amount of pain that they're going to be in is crazy. Here we go then. Value area high from Friday, about to get tagged, already through point of control. The only things left are up here, PDC and PDH. It might as well go and do it. I cannot believe we're saying that today, folks, but we are. Man, if you got this long, congrats. I was sat there waiting for the short and it never came. What a move. What a move. Up, 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 up. All we do is go up. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Nice, Anitas. Yeah, nice. Some of you got it. Lovely, lovely work. I'm always looking for what I think is the pro trend, but it just didn't come. It did not come. I think we talked about pre-market. We have to be careful about the failed breakout. We said if 200, 300 reclaims, we've got to be hands off. That's what I am now. We're all the way at 450, and we're looking for 500 right now. Every dip absorbed. In from 2106. We haven't been there today, so I don't. You mean your swing long? You got swing long on Tuesday. That must mean what you mean. We haven't revisited that otherwise. Can we get the gap fill? Can we go for the cash gap? Feels like it's what it wants. If we get up there, it probably goes previous day high, previous week high. If we get there, oh my God. I dread to think. Oh, sorry, Peter. Okay. You're playing FX, basically. You're playing the CFDs. Up, up, up we go. That's That's right, Peter. Well, look, as long as you're comfortable trading it, it's fine. The only thing I'd worry about with those is the spread, because they can control the spread because it's not centralized. But as long as you're good, I'm sure you know what you're doing. This feels like it just wants to go and squeeze out here. It feels like it wants those 500s, 512s, 530s. It might as well go and do it. The question is, once we get to 530s, does it go absolutely bonkers to the upside at that point? Kind of hard to do much right now. It's hard to do anything right now, knowing that it's low hanging fruit above and that we've not shifted into a short and that I don't want to buy it all the way up here. Time 8 minutes left until the initial balance. I kind of want to just wait now and see what we do at PDC and PDH. With it up this high, it might as well go up there. So that's where my head's at. Just like let it get there if it's going to get there, or they're just going to sell it like this. Fantastic. All right, if they start breaking down here, if this is the end of the squeeze, who knows? Still just at flows, flow zones right now. Got a frog in my throat. Can you imagine they give this whole thing back? Be hilarious. Still holding Globex right now. Previous day point of control. Everything's around here. You can see it. They should come up here. They might as well get up here right now. It would make sense for them. They've come this far. You might as well go all the way up. There is a seller still at 500. He's up there. It's trying to build to do it. Watching the ES, watching the VIX, trying to find a bid for the first time here. VIX, is it? On a 5 minute, zooming in. It's trying to find a bid for the first time on the VIX. It's still holding flow zones. Nice, Crawford. Here comes the selling starting. If they can't get under Globex, though, it won't mean a thing. There's still low-hanging fruit above that. If they leave that low-hanging fruit, it's going to be so nasty, so dirty of them to do. There's Globex, 20s again. Absorbing Globex here. Man, if they just squeezed everyone out and that's it. If pops start to fail now after selling Globex, it's going to be nasty. You've still got flow zones and you've still got the gap though. Very hard to trade this counter trend for a playback down. Very, very, very hard and very risky. ES starting to fail its first pivot here. Selling definitely starting to come into the tape here a bit. Here's top of the gap. Iffy. Iffy at best. Here's top of the gap. And previous day open just below. Starting to see a lower time frame shift here as it starts to expand underneath Globex into the top of the new week opening gap. If it holds the gap, it's very, very bullish. If it lets go of the gap, then we can go back down, all the way down to those deep pullback flow zones. Who knows what happens all the way down there. They might have trapped bulls up here. Maybe. Starting to feel that way. Squeeze over now. I've got to delete this just so I can see the H1 properly because it's in the way on my H1 chart. Missed value area high. Need to wait to see if they form a lower high. Can't just like join this for a big flush. It's too risky that they just don't catch this to go back up. Need to see if they do something like this for this move here. It's too risky otherwise that they just go straight up. Oh my god. Mag all red other than Microsoft. VIX finding that bid there. First 5-minute bar like going green on the VIX. Finally found a bid on the VIX. Here's the selling. I'm joining this. It's just a small piecing, just in case they get. If they're going to do huge squeeze out and let the whole thing go, I've got to be involved in it. Absolute buggers. Watching the bottom of the gap and the opening range basically into 40s. See if we can move down there and then how we act. I'd really still want a drive up. I'd need to see it reject 420 to feel confident about holding. Right, so we'd need pushes to reject 420 to feel confident about holding. Otherwise, it's just a bit of a rebalance. Don't want to get trapped on a sweep under here, so need it to reject that level. Here's 400s. See how they act at 420s. They reclaim 420s, then probably go for new highs on the day. Book still looks real thin. It feels like people are scared to participate right now. So can we build a bear flag out into 420s? Reclaim a 420s thesis goes out the window again. That would be the second time today my thesis would go out the window if that happens. Can this bear flag build out? They will need a breakdown. We've seen big absorption there on that big wick on that M1 right here. If we start breaking down under that, then all the buyers get trapped. This is starting to look better now. Just need to see follow through to the downside. If they can't get follow through to the downside, it's going to be a problem. That 400 and 420 are absolutely key. Watching top of this gap. Starting to sell it now. They're starting to sell this now. You can see it coming in on the tape. Beautiful. Need follow through underneath that old wick. It needs follow through underneath that old wick. You do not want that to hold. That wick at 76s. Need pops to fail and follow through underneath that old wick. Do not want to see absorption. Do not want any reclaim 420. Any reclaim 420, I'm completely out of this. Morning, J Nash, because that would mean resumption of bullish trend, and it would just be like a little short pullback for shorts to get more cooked in. And I'm not going to be one of those shorts getting more cooked in it, just so you know. There's no way I'm going to allow myself to do that. Flow zone still being absorbed on ES on an M2. Still bullish multi-time frame here. All right, so I'm playing a counter trend, initial balance rotation here. This key. Otherwise, they can do this. That will take us to highs. Reject this, and I'm looking for this move into here. Not an easy play, what I'm looking at here. So huge recovery from the market today, remember. Massive. Do not want to get stuck here. If they drive this, I'm out. If they drive up to 420 and reclaim, I'm completely out. Want it to stay heavy. Ideally heavy on the gap. Ideally heavy on 400. Problem is Nvidia. If Nvidia goes red to green, that's going to be an issue. Tesla's still almost 3% down. Nvidia not too far away, 0.15% down. Meta 0.41% down. Google 1% down. Amazon 0.25% down. Apple 2.35% down. Microsoft the only one green, 1/3% up, like we keep talking about. But the market's been in a squeeze. You have to understand that. But if the squeeze is over, I'm interested. If it's not over and they reclaim, I'm not interested. I'm just going to sit here and wait for it to take out PDH and PDC. Once it does that, I'll think about either a long continuation for a higher time frame breakout model or a steal of liquidity and a counter trend short, which would be my least favorite trade up there if we do that, because we would have taken both sides of the range. Here we go then. If it reclaims 420, I'm out. Ideally, wanted to see it reject 411s, really. What are we doing, market? They just retrapped to go higher. About to cut this. 420 is the cut. ES looks very strong. They trapped underneath that little micro low to go higher. Holding Globex, holding previous day open. Are they going to go for PDC and PDH? Here comes my out. It's almost tagged me. Not out yet. Not far away. Reclaiming flow zones here as well. And everything I don't want to see. Reclaiming the gap, reclaiming flow zones. Come on, give me a sell. VIX now going sideways as well. Not what you want to see. Probably going to take a stop here by the looks of it. I had a go. I said I wouldn't do this trade, and I did it, and now I'm paying the price for it. I said I wouldn't do this trade if we started to reclaim 200s and 300s, I wouldn't be looking at these. And I've tried to do it, and I might be paying for it. My own fault. Go on, save me. Save me. It was a tick away. Save me. Please save me. Down you go. If it holds a gap, it's just a matter of time till I get taken out, really, I think, if it holds that gap. It's got to let go of 400s now. Here's the level into 400s. Got to let go of 400s. Bidding in front of it still. They're bidding on that old RBS at 405. Oh, I probably should have cut it there and saved myself some money. Here we go. Stops right up here at 420. Alex. Silly boy. You silly boy. Trying to play an initial balance off a squeeze. No bueno. Market's starting to sell harder now across the board, other than Microsoft. 0.5% up. What's weird about Microsoft? How many times do I say this when we have relative strength in Microsoft in sell days, but in big bullish days, it's nowhere to be seen. I'm going to get taken here. Still hasn't taken me. It's literally tapping on me. I can't believe I haven't been filled here. My stop, that is. There we go, I'm out. Oh well. Bugger. It happens. You can see that's a bad call from me. That's a bad trade and a bad call from me, to be honest. That is a bad call. 5 minutes are staying up, 15 minutes are staying upside. We're in a giant squeeze and I'm trying to play counter trend. That is a terrible trade. Lick my wounds. Is what it is. So they're sat here now and just waiting. Missed the long, didn't get the short I wanted. Missed the long, had an attempt at a short, took a break even, and then there just gave some money back. Tried to give it a little bit of wiggle room to break down. Market just so resilient. It does not want to give up any gains, this market. No, really, no, don't don't do it afterwards. Don't do it afterwards. I want this to go higher now. Russell Cooper, I joined and sold with 285 profit. Good for you, mate. Good for you. I'm happy for all of you that made money. There's nothing I can do now. I'm just looking at that daily candle and hourly candles. I'm just like, how are you supposed to trade this now? I don't want to get short against it. I've had one attempt and got burnt. That's my fault. I'm not going to get long up here in supply. I've got to wait for a breakout or a gap fill now. I'm just kicking myself. Why not take that trade long this morning for the move up to here at least, and then just hold a runner, and none of this would happen. Resilience is insane. looking at news here. Trump's call with Putin has begun, by the way. Just so you know. Just so you're all aware. Yeah, it's in the course, definitely ain't us. I was just waiting for the pro trend today. Like, I had a plan. No, I had a plan for it to reject somewhere around here. It didn't. Like I said, if we reclaim 200s and 300s, I shouldn't be thinking short. I've had a go at a short here for this roll. It might still happen, but I've probably been a little bit early on that move. I think I was short like on this candle here, risking sort of into these levels here, looking for that rotation. I should have just let it build out, and that's my fault. It's just my fault. It's just how it is. I've probably got a bit of FOMO from not getting a short overnight and not getting a long this morning. And it's okay. It's controlled risk. It's no big damage. It's one account, a little bit red. The others are all green. It's not a big deal. I'm taking payouts from 3 of them tomorrow. Yeah, I watched the F1. Just crap, really. It got interesting for the final few minutes, and McLaren not making a decision and letting Lando through with the fresher tyres meant Max. I mean, it was just a breeze for him in those final 10 laps when they could have put the pressure on. In my opinion, anyway, that's how I felt about it. What did you think, Big Pun? Where was your head at with it? Feels like they want PDC and PDH here. I cannot believe I'm saying that after, what were we down this morning? Like 300-400 points? And we're talking about after negative news, like from Moody's, after the Fed this morning being so hawkish, we're talking about filling the whole gap to previous day high. It's really impressive. They might break this down now, which would be hilarious for me. Now I should be thinking about it if it lets go, and only if it lets go. Yeah, what did you think about it, Big Pun? Back towards that gap. That's a stronger sell bar there. Do they just reprice it straight back up, I wonder? Thought that pass Max put on Piastri at the start. Yeah, I mean, I agree. On the first lap or whenever, like, it was game over from that point, wasn't it? Like, he is an impressive driver. He is a very impressive driver. What I find interesting is, like, more the team dynamics. Like, you got to think the other teams, by not having a number one, just like, they almost don't give themselves a chance. Like, if you've got Lando on tires which are 30 or 20 laps fresher, and he's putting in hotter laps, and you're going to keep him, and you got a safety car as well, and you're going to keep him behind Piastri, like, you're not setting yourself up for success as a team. If that was flipped, right? Let's say Lando was in first, and you had Red Bull 2-3 behind, and Max was in third with fresher tires than Yuki. You know they're telling Yuki, like, get out of the way, like, because they're just going to make smart decisions. All right, so it feels like it's just going to grind up here again. That PDC, PDH, all feel like targets. Yeah, Williams look great, don't they? And that's so nice to see, like a legacy team sort of back. Great to see. Great to see them back at the races. Ferrari all weekend were about as Ferrari as you get. You don't get more Ferrari than Ferrari, do you? It's just terrible. Great straight line speed, but can't get themselves together until too late. All right, seeing a couple rejections up there, but still no follow through yet. Maybe it will come. No follow through yet. Do they build out this bear flag and start letting go? If they do, where do they go? We'll be looking for that move here, but I'm kind of a little bit not feeling this right now. I think this level here is key. That's the gap under this, under this, and this. But I'm not too sure about these shorts yet. I feel like shorts have been cooked all day. Trump now on the phone. I don't know, folks. Licking my wounds a little bit right now. Licking my wounds. Not convinced on anything yet. No, there's no big sell momentum. There's been no big sellers on the tape. If there'd been big sellers on the tape today, we wouldn't be all the way up here, would we? I'm trying to like just observe that now. I've already got it wrong once. You know, we're up massive, but they're absorbing levels. Reclaim these, reclaim these, reclaim previous day low, held above orb. I mean, that is as easy as you get. And Alex didn't take it because he was too worried about getting slammed on. Well, the momentum's there. Should have just got involved. Yeah, I mean, I agree. They're not going to give team orders, but I think that will cost them long term. I'm not saying that they need to favor Lando or favor Piastri necessarily, but like when one car's clearly quicker than the other and is on fresher tires, and you're chasing down the first place, you probably need to do something about it. All right, starting to see a bit more selling here. Back to the opening. New week opening gap here. Let's see. It's absorbing off that 400 whole number and the new week opening gap. Let's see if they start selling through this or not. But again, I don't want to get caught here. I do think there's a potential trade back down to VWAP and previous day low. They would have to get underneath all those swing points. All right, starting to get a piece involved. Can we do a bigger sell here? Is it a giant sell day? And that was a big old squeeze out. We will need to take out these pivots. 400s will need to stay heavy. 400s and 420s have basically been key. 400s will need to stay heavy. If they don't stay heavy versus 400, if they cannot take out 76 in the deep flow zone pullback cloud, then we just keep trapping to go upside. There should be, in theory, there should be one more leg down here. Even if it's bullish, you should be looking for 2 legs. So we would like to see that low taken out. Don't want to add too aggressively here. That's what I did last time to get myself caught. Nice. Can we get break down here now? Can we break down here? Watching that pivot at 80s. If we start letting go, we can get a massive wash. That would be fun. Watching these deep flow zone pullbacks. Remember, this is where we got stuck before. Respect where the buyers were. If you're in this, you can take a partial here. Love a slam. Absolutely love a slam. Beautiful. Come on, more. More. Double bottom there now. I want lower. You will need same level, 400, maybe 410 this time to kind of reject it. If they don't do that, if they start building sideways, you'll be careful. If they build out here, you want to be careful of this. You need this to stay heavy. And you remember your counter trend here. The clouds are saying up. This is why I'm saying, like, I don't want to get trapped again for the second time today. Reclaiming the gap. This is it. Reclaim already. I'm already out of this, folks. I'm not willing to give any more money back today. So I made a little bit of money back there. I'm not willing to give any more money back today. Don't mind joining back in. When and if it proves, I can just keep rotating in and out and in and out. But what I'm not going to do is get myself stuck. Already took an L today once. Nice. Getting back involved. Small size versus. I want to see those rejections at 420s, 400s. Can we get a fill? Nope. Can't get involved yet. Moved without me there. They're adding liquidity up above now. 25s, 37s, 62s, 75s. They're trying to drag the market up. They're just starting to stack up now, trying to lift it. Lift the market up towards them. Russell doing the Singapore GP this year. Amazing. I don't think I've ever been to that one. I haven't been to that one. And I did text a mate over the weekend. I am thinking, right, guys, I should tell you actually, I will be away for like 10 to 2 weeks in June. I've got a friend's 40th and a wedding in Europe. And I'll be away in August for a week. But I'll try and stream then when I'm away for my 40th. I am thinking about going to the second test of the Lions in Melbourne. And if it's 1-1, I'll probably stay for the third test. Anyone going to the Lions? Down under? Starting to see more and more absorption here. Very tricky here. Still holding Globex, still holding 5-minute flow zones, still is bullish, still is above PDC, still inside previous day's range. So I'm trying to be so careful. They want to rip this to new highs and break out of the range. They can. Are they going to break down, or are they just going to trap and trap and trap? Market still all red, other than Microsoft, 0.57% up. The rest of it is red. The rest of the market red right now. Tesla 3% down, Nvidia 0.5% down, Meta 1/3% down, Google just under 1% down, Amazon 1/3% down, Apple 1.78% down. Do we get a sell-off here? Can we finish this squeeze and give back, or have they re-caught people again? And is their intention to go PDC, PDH? There is low-hanging fruit above if they really want to do it. That's the scary thing here if you think about the short. Question is, have bulls had enough? They've had a lot of fun today. That's for sure. They got that move from the open all the way down here with a straight squeeze. All you have to do is buy that open. Just buy it and close your eyes. $400's letting go again here. It is a battle. You can see it's a battle here. 400s, there's a double bottom there at 76s. If we liquidate that and stay heavy versus it, there's a bigger move down. If we don't liquidate it, or if we liquidate it and we turn inside, you know it's a new trap level for them to go higher. $11 p.m. local time if I stream in Australia. And if I go to Australia, I will not be in a fit state to stream, I tell you that much, if I go to watch the rugby. No chance. Yeah, VIX just going sideways all morning, really, unfortunately. Yeah, trust me. If I go and watch the Lions, you won't get a stream out of me. It won't be useful if I do. It would not be a good stream. All right, so still protecting the grey box. Still not liquidating these guys here. View up down here for that first test, 362, if it's going to do it. I'm watching to see if we break down towards that and how we act. Just consolidating at highs at the moment. Are they going to come for these lows now? Watching. Still absorbing. What is this level that they're absorbing on? 90s. No one even on the book there. No one on the book to 75 really. Like it's so thin. You've got a 12 lot, 14 lot, 17 lot, 14 lot, and then at 75 we've got a bit more size. You expect them to come and liquidate down towards 75, honestly. And then under that you've got room to 360 on the book. So unless they're going to mark it in and suddenly catch it. They're trying now. They're trying. So that 93 or whatever it is needs to stay heavy, where they were just absorbing the last however many minutes. See, they've reclaimed it straight away. I don't like the games here. There's no way I'm playing this. Not till they're ready. Not till they're ready. Still holding the deep pullback cloud. You're still above so many key levels. You're above previous day open. You're above Globex. You're on the top of the new week opening gap. It's in momentum up right now. The issue that I've got, let me have a look at this. Where are we at from previous day high to close? It's done a full rebalance on that hourly. You see this wick here? It's rebalanced that whole thing to the tick, 461. Vic's trying to find a bit of a bid here. Are they going to let this go? The problem is the chop that they do for this drift down. We're now like 80 points off the high. It gets very hard to risk anything versus that IB. Yeah, this is, I've already lost my head a bit today. I can already feel it, just being honest with you. Not getting that short overnight and then it not setting up today is peed me off. And now we're reclaiming. So I'm trying to mentally reset of like, okay, well, if we're going to go for a breakout, I need to be thinking long if and when we do it and not get stubborn. Must not be stubborn. I haven't been stubborn so far, just so you can see. That's where I'm at. So I turn my red day green. But just talking to myself in my own head, being like, mate, don't be forcing yourself into the market. Don't force it. No, I'm all good. It's just like self-talk. Like, don't force your way in. If it's not there, it's not there. If you're not going to... In my head, I'm like, today is going to be the day. You're going to get a 400-500 point short and you're going to slam it and you're going to make, you know, all your money for the month. That hasn't happened. So normally what happens once or twice a month, I get one or two big trades. And then the others are just like base hit, base hit, base hit. I thought today was going to be that big trade. I thought they were going to set it up for me. So if they don't set it up, I cannot sit here and try and force that setup. Have to observe. Failed breakout of the lows. Trade back inside daily range. Reclaiming key levels. Scenarios changed. From what we were at this morning and what we were looking for to where we're at now, they're not the same thing. So I just got to sort of respect that, you know, respect my risk. Here goes the squeeze, 405s. Remember that 4 sort of 17s has been key, 420s. There's still a seller at 435, 420 and 435. I'm going to get a refill on my coffee. Mentally, just calm down and reset, see what we get. They can build this flag here for a breakout if they want as well, folks. All right, let's just be careful. What do you think of the new camera? Better? I can turn the lighting up if it's too dark as well. Maybe it's a bit dark. Should turn this up a bit. There we go. Still building here. Nothing's changed. Alex has missed it. We might be building a giant cup and handle here. I'm starting to zoom out thinking, mate, you absolute lemon. Why? It's very much possible right now. We did steal this. It's the only thing that might offer a trade down to here before doing that, if they're going to do a deeper swipe first. But so far, there's nothing to say that they're going to do that. We are just basing up here above the new week opening gap. The low-hanging fruit right now is PDC and PDH. A breakout of PDH should trigger a giant squeeze. Well, maybe not PDH, maybe previous week high triggers the squeeze, but PDH probably gets us to previous week high, and a breakout of that probably triggers quite a nasty move higher. So I'm trying to like sort of change my brain. So this morning, when we were opening here, we were looking at a rejection of here or here for this trade down into here. We haven't got that. It's reclaimed. If we get a breakout of these shorts can get squeezed for a big move higher. All right, so I'm trying to just tell myself in my head, how we operate when we get here is key, because if we do this, we're going to go for it. All right, if we do this and come inside, maybe they need more consolidation. I find that weird that they would do that move. They've already, in my mind, they've cooked a lot of people. This is Trading View. This is Trading View. My Ninja Trader's on my main chart over here. I don't know if I can show you it. Here's my Ninja Trader. I have the new, someone asked me, I have the new indicator, but it's still not fixed. So I'm just waiting for them to make a couple changes before I make it available on the market. So we'll use this one for now. Building that liquidity, it's potentially building it. Yeah, exactly, mate. Ain't task exactly. You can just wait for it to build up. The momentum is upside though. The main trend on the morning session has been upside, but you are definitely extended, but you're above key levels. The main trend is upside. It just depends what they want to do. It feels, I can't remember what day it was last week. Maybe one of you can remember, but it's the same thing. The MAG are all down and we've gone up in a squeeze. It's when everyone's looking for the same thing. So you've got loads and my thought process, or at least this is how I tell myself in my head. This morning, everyone was looking for the trade I had. Probably a lot of people were already in it. Well, the trade I had, the trade I wanted. Probably a lot of people were already in it. And because they're already in it, it's a crowded space. And when you've got a crowded space and everyone looking for the same thing, it's less likely to work. Because if every short is looking for that puke out and it doesn't come, every short is then trapped, right? And then we can't get that move. It's kind of what I was saying Friday when someone was calling for the short. I'm just like, you can't short against the grain. If we're going straight up, you can't short into it. And that's what we've done this morning. And that's probably why they're caught. Because how I would dissect this, right? Those in Discord last night were getting short here, right? And maybe some of you took a break down here. Maybe some of you took here. I don't know. But then here this morning, probably lots more added short here. They get squeezed out. Then they add short here. They get squeezed out. And then we take out this level of stop from overnight. They get squeezed out and we take out this level of stop. They get squeezed out and we take out this level of stop. The question is now, are shorts exhausted and do genuine buyers step in for this rotation higher? Or is shorts going to keep adding and adding and adding and adding and adding and getting blown out here? Either way, it doesn't look very good for them right now. Does not look very good for them right now. Back to new week opening gap again. Same levels. Still haven't liquidated that guy at 77, who's actually at 75 on the book. All right, so that liquidation is actually 75 on the book. Watching now if we're going to do it. I want to see how we act if and when we get down there. Still just building. It can still be this flag. Ninja Trade's frozen. Come on, Ninja Trade. There we go. Okay, looks like we're going deep pullback. Probably going to go and liquidate 75, see if this guy's real. If we let go of it with the volume, then we can get a nasty move down. If we wick through it and reclaim, then that's the trap level. So how we act at 77, 75 is important now, okay? How we act down here is very important. ES nowhere near those levels, by the way. You've got relative strength over in the ES right now. Nowhere near those levels. How do we get the indicator on NinjaTrader? Looks like we need to download it from you before. You need to buy it. It's on my website. You need to either buy a 1-year license or a lifetime license. And then you need to download it from the link once you buy it and follow the instructions. It's like a mini course on how to install it. To pay for it, download it, email me with your machine ID on NinjaTrader, and then it will work. I really like it on NinjaTrader. It's very, very clean. I will do a video on it soon. So still absorbing. You've got a triple bottom down there now. They never liquidated 75. They're still protecting him at 75. You've got a seller at 410 and 435 really. And ES with relative strength here, folks. ES got nowhere near it. ES looks very strong. This flag getting tested here. It's downtrend. Getting tested here. They're starting to try and cause this squeeze back towards Globex. So those 410s, 420s will remain key. VIX just still doing this dance here. No breakout, no breakdown, just stuck sideways at 18.50. Market's stuck right now. Oh, I'm trying not to get frustrated. I'm trying my best not to get frustrated here on a Monday. Breakout here. Breakout that flag. Here comes the test of that Globex level again. 20s. Through there, good chance we go IB high. If we base and get through IB high, it's going to want that PDC and PDH. So liquidity here at 34s. 35 on the book. Still absorbing. Still looks very, very bullish. Never wanted to go for that breakdown. It never wanted to actually give it. Right now, for now, it's still building potential upside. The only thing I'd be very careful about is on the ES, we're building higher lows and lower highs. All right, so you've got like a wedge starting to form out. Someone's going to get hurt soon. We talk about this all the time. Feels like just a squeeze out upside is what's wanted right now. Still inside initial balance as well here, folks. Just be aware of that. Oh, I fluffed my lines today. Sorry, team. It happens. I'm not always going to shoot 100%. I'm still green, but I feel like it's a big miss. That is a big old miss today from Alex. Still trapped in this wedge. I know we're outside that flag, but we're trapped in that sort of wedge. Because if we think about this, these are lows and this is flat. All right, so lower high, lower high, lower high, but no lower low yet. On the ES, you've got higher low, higher low, higher low, lower high, lower high, lower high. So that's when you know someone's going to get trapped. We're doing basically one of these, right? And at some point, someone's going to get hurt. All right, pull back into that flag, holding for now. Where's this red line? Let's go. All right, previous day point of control, still rejecting that for now. No bid over it this morning, other than this failed auction, basically. This is where we found failure once we got over previous day point of control. That's what's going on. All right here. Reclaim that. It's probably bullish for this move. Until that point, we're just going to chop around and build the liquidity for this or for this. This is low-hanging fruit if you've been long. This is where it's trying to get to. Whether it can get there or not is a whole different ballgame, but that's what it's trying to get to. The QQQ actually got very close to it this morning on the cash, on the ETF. This is a bit of a chop fest. And we've been in a chop fest, I'd say, yeah, for an hour now, really. Absolute hour. It is torture. It's torture. Yeah, you're right. Well, I think if you're a bull this morning off the open, you're quite happy to sit in this, and that's what you're getting. You know, people. I would hazard a guess, right? If you were bullish this morning, right, from here for that drive up, you were taking partial, and now you're just sat in it. Why are you going to sell? You've made your money. Your stock's probably at VWAP or something, and you're like, look, I'm just going to keep holding because if we do this, who knows how far up we go. So they've got there's no reason for them to sell right now. They're so far in the money. And that's why I said if we reclaim 200s, 300s, I can't be thinking about short. I still thought about the short, but I shouldn't have, because once we reclaim these guys here, right, then these are the people underwater. These are the people underwater from Friday, and we're back into these levels. But we've already filled it. We've done so much damage, right? If you look at like this New York session, who's in control? Bulls. Bulls in this session are in control. Is it a squeeze? Yep, absolutely. But if we squeeze far enough and then go sideways and they remain in control, you get a new leg. Oh, what's gone on there? All right, trading view. Chill your boots. I want to make sure that's correct and I haven't accidentally moved that. All right, there. What are we doing? What are we doing? I've been waiting to take the buyers out at 5946.25 on ES before jumping in 959. Yeah, same kind of principle as this. You're looking to liquidate them for the trap to get back long. I totally understand what you're talking about. It's just it's not doing it on ES, is it? It is not doing it. In fact, it's building higher lows. It's not even building like here. We've got relative equal lows on ES. It's not even doing that. It's building higher lows. Look at ES. And this is the problem with ES right now. Higher lows, lower highs, wedge. Oh, it's gonna go for it. This thing's still going. Impressive. Impressive. Up, 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 up. It goes. Squeezes on, re-squeezes on here. So probably take this liquidity at 35s. If they find a bid through that, we go higher day, 62s. If we go through that, we go 505.75 or 506. That's previous day close. Previous day high, 512. Previous week high is 530s up here. Previous week high at the top of this box is 530. It's actually a bit. It's not quite there. It's 530, not 36. Pull this down so it's correct. It's there. And the chop, 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 chop. Bear with me, folks. I've got to roll my back out here. I am in agony. Rolling around on the floor. Those of you who didn't know, got major back problems at the moment. C3, C4, completely out. AC joint problem here. In rehab already working on it. Session number 4 coming up probably tomorrow. Need to get to session number 8 and then probably think about MRI and see what we can do. All right, Globex here again. Do they absorb here again? Can this be any more boring? We missed the move, or at least Alex missed the move. You all got it because you're smart. Muggins here missed the move. Trying to get the stream up so I can see you guys. All right, all right, all right. Not long left. This stream's gone quick. Done absolutely nothing. 40 minutes left. All the liquidity is being added above us right now. They're trying to drag the market up. And they just keep adding liquidity above. 35, 40, 45, 50, and 60. All on the book now. They're trying to just let this go higher right now by the looks of it. They're trying to use liquidity as a magnet to go up. Whether it can do it or not, it's another thing. Just like someone said in chat, I can't remember who it was. Mike. I agree with Mike. Hasn't liquidated those lows, hasn't gone down and then reclaimed it. So there's no trap involved. I don't want to be a buyer here without knowing bears are trapped. Because there's these are just sat there waiting to get slammed. So it's probably just going to be a waiting game for me. I'm probably going to have to be okay with what have I got here? 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, $800 odd dollars. Bugger all. I was thinking I was going to have, I'll be honest, I thought I was going to have a big 5-figure day today, a very big 5-figure day, but it doesn't always happen. It's probably why, because in my head I was like, yes, this is setting up, multi-day short, we get a big deep pullback, we get 10% pullback, I can get short into this, slam it down for a week or two, and then in my long-term account I'll start buying it off the pullback low for new all-time highs later in the year, and none of that has happened. None of it has happened. So it's doubly crap for me because not only have I not made tons of money today, I've got none of my long-term investment looking like it's going to get that pullback right now. But things can change. Things can change. It's just one day. But if I was to look at that daily chart right now, I wouldn't say I'd be thinking about a bearish move. Not right now. Are we going to come down for those lows into euro close? Who knows? Everything's still just absorbed. It's amazing. No traps needed by the looks of it. Not yet, anyway. So still absorbing on the top of the gap. This has just gone choppy now, though. Since you had this failure, this is just choppy. I'd say it's all be up above here, can get you to above here, but beneath here can get you down to here. But like, what are you risking? It's just not very pretty. Look at the flow zones. Everything's starting to flatten out here. Everything's starting to flatten out. GB, I need it to go down to 340 or else I'm bearish based on the 1 hour liquidity sweep. Well, the 1 hour taking out the Globex high, you mean? The thing is, you're not seeing this hourly candle like even attempt to go red yet. I mean, I'm more bearish of, where did you say? It's funny. I was just going to say underneath that 340. And you can feel some of the imbalance from this morning on that first big hour drive. But getting a bit more wonky here. They've pulled a few of those orders that were up above now. Those sell orders, a few of them just got pulled. Maybe for the euro close. Oh my God. They're going to sell it now. Back to Globex. I mean, back to new week opening gap. Back to where we broke out from. 400s here, reabsorbed in the new week opening gap again, reclaim of 400s again, holding that red line, which is dynamic resistance, can potentially become support. Remember, that's the flag that we broke out from, and still not liquidated those lows. So there's still very hard to think about any bears being trapped here right now. Still absorbing same levels over and over and over again. What a ball fest. Back to that same level we just absorbed off again, back to the deep pullback flow zones. Keeps absorbing off those all morning. MAG is still all red other than Microsoft. Nvidia's not too far away, a third away. Meta's pretty close to going green. Amazon's not far away. Apple's 2% down. Tesla's over 3.57% down, away. Google away. 0.75% down. Sorry, folks. VIX at lower day. Can't be thinking short in this right now. Cannot be thinking short in this right now, unfortunately. And missed my buy opportunity. New 30-minute, 15-minute, 5-minute bar on the way in 2 minutes. How are we at there? I think will be fairly key. What does this hourly bar want to do? Can we expand lower and sweep those players out? And once we do that, do we respond by going back upside with a trap? Still absorbing in front of that trend line for now, just for now. Still not interested in anything. I really need to see us come and take out 75s. He's on the book now. He's actually moved up. He was at 75. He's at 80 now. It's an 80 lot at 80. So I want to see that guy get liquidated and then see how we respond. That's all I'm really interested in at the moment. If we liquidate him and just keep driving lower, obviously I'm not thinking about a long, thinking about a full reprice. If we liquidate him and turn back inside the range and start reclaiming 400s, then it's a good chance that shorts get trapped down there. 30 seconds left till we get that new bar. Let's see what we do at the new bar. If it's still just sitting at low of day, 1842. It's not a good look. It's not a good look. Basically, barcoding, most of this range has been from 435 to 377 for over an hour. Do we just go to bed? Do we go back to bed? A low of day is a long way away right now, Raphael. That's a very long way away. Low of day is all the way down here. That's a big ask. That is a big ask. You might be right, but that is a big ask right now. What happens if it breaks 75 and does this? You still think about a low of day? It still feels like they want to go for that gap fill. PDC, yellow line all the way up here. It feels like that's what they want to do. That's an efficient market if it does it in terms of cash. It's flipping nuts that I'm even saying that. I cannot believe I'm saying that. But that is what it feels like it wants to do. Is Trump now posting? Fantastic. And he's just reposting. Oh, no change here. I'm not seeing any news. It's a no news day, really. So, nada. Nothing to do. Can't do anything. Sat still. Feel like an idiot. Missed the move. Didn't get what I wanted. Missed what was right in front of me, staring at me in the face. And buyers are moving up now. So there was a buyer at 375. He moved to 380. Now he's moved up a little bit more and spread his orders out. Now he's at 390 and he's at 400. So they're trying to prop that up. Yeah, VIX breaking down. That's what I'm saying. You can't be thinking about that move downside all the time you're seeing this in the market. It's not what you want to see. If you're looking for the downside move, you do not want to see the VIX breaking down and the market just basing with a low-hanging fruit above it, which is what we're starting to see. Cannot believe these hourly candles. So strong into range. So strong. Have to respect them. Have to respect them. $33s now on the VIX. Previous day high, if it wants to come and retest it, is sub 18, which has looked like it is what it wants to do at the moment. And that should take us to previous day high on the SPY, right? If we're going to do an equal move. No trade here for me. Nothing for me here is nothing to do. Unless we sweep someone out, I'm not interested. $420s here now being absorbed. New lows on VIX. Ay, ay, ay. Liquidity here, 430, 435, 440. They're looking to just pull the market up into that at the moment. Been on the book here for like the last 4 minutes, trying to pull the market up, adding size there. Yeah. I don't know if it feels like they're smoking a joint right now, Raphael. They've forgotten what to do. There is no news today now for the rest of the day, so, I mean, who knows? Just such a resilient market. When you have a market that can shake off any bad news, got to respect it. That's why we trade the setup in front of us, not the news piece. We can have a look for thesis, but if it doesn't come, it doesn't come. Still feels like they're setting up a squeeze here to go and rip some faces. Really does. If I was in short here, I would not feel comfortable right now. Put it that way. It's showing so much willingness to hold a bid and hold a bid and hold a bid and hold a bid, and they keep adding liquidity higher and higher and higher and higher. Now they're looking for 35s, then 40, 45, 50. They're just stacking up above, 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 above. They're not lifting. They are actually getting filled, so maybe they're genuine buyers getting filled up there. It's not a place I would want to buy at. But I mean, look at the 30-minute. It's built out a really nice flag. If we go and expand above that old hourly high of day, we should just probably moonshot, because it's probably got enough trapped at that point. Very surprising that they didn't want to do a sweep first, but like we said, we have to respect what's in front of us. Just catching up with financial juice here in case there's anything I'm missing. Bill signing ceremony. Bank of Canada. Not seeing anything. Top side liquidity here is 35. If we go through 35 and we start dying, that would be the same as we were looking for the underside for a bullish move. If we did this and this, if we do this and this, it's also possible. But the difference is we have levels up here it's trying to draw towards. It's where all the volume was from Friday here. It's why it's previous date point of control. Biggest volume on the day was up here from Friday. Here we go. ES is trying to get going now. Market's in a hurry. This is what I was saying. I would not want to be short against this right now. It feels like it's in a hurry to close that gap. VIX breaking down. Now, if we trade back under 35, that's a whole different ball game, all right? But I would not say 500s are out of the question right now, given how we're acting. This is reaccumulation to get long. We're probably going to go and take out 62s and use their stops at that IB high to get up to 500s. That's the most probable thing right now, I would say. ES is already very close to its initial balance as well. Why does this keep going dead on my stream? All right, so here we go. Trading up, and you can see the breakout, retest, holding. This here should get you all the way up to here. So I'd be taking a partial if you're in this into 90s and 06s and 13s. And then previous week high is at 530. Breakout of 530, you might get an even bigger squeeze. You might get a really, really big squeeze. Watching to see if divergence plays here. Would want them both to just squeeze out upside at this point. Low hanging fruit definitely feels like PDC, PDH, PWH. VIX lower day here. What you need to be careful of is if one takes the high and dies inside and the other doesn't. But so far, this just looks like it's going to go. Here you go, folks. Here we go. Let's see how we act here. Needs to get through the IB high and then just straight squeeze up. There we go. Fantastic. Beautiful. Keep going. I want to get through to 500s now if I can. It took a breakout trade through that 36s. Don't want this to let go of IB now. We'll need to base on IB. Don't want to fail breakout of the IB. Tough trade that, but I had to take it. It was there for me. All right, here's the IB. Remember, if this wants to fail and come back down to 35s, it can. Want to be very careful if we just take the H1 and we die. We're 20 minutes away from lunch in the new H1. You would think we go previous week close, previous day close, previous day high, previous week high. Breakout previous week high, like I keep saying, can cause a massive, massive breakout. Look at the daily. Look at the daily. All right, if we've got to be dynamic here. We reclaimed. This is a bad sign for shorts. We reclaim this. This is a very bad sign for shorts. If we break out of this, think how many shorts have got their stops up here and where we can go. Top Bollinger, and we can start aiming for, I would say, this here. It's 962, which lines up with top Bollinger. If it's going to go, that's where it can go to. It can also fail, but you would just find it weird to do a spring down here to fail the top side of the range. It's possible. But like I said, if I was in long this morning, I'd be laughing right now just holding positions. I've got no reason to sell other than to take partials. There's nothing scaring me out this market if I'm long. I'd be very scared if I was short. Very scared right now. You got to think, what was that previous week high? Basically 30. So you're 60 points away from NQ, which you can do in a second, from getting absolutely wrecked, because God knows how big that candle can be above 560 if we break previous week highs. Only chance shorts have got is if they get a failed auction of the initial balance. Back to IB here. Lunch coming in like just over 15 minutes, 17 minutes or something. I might trade the afternoon session today. I'll see. If I can go and have a walk and feel like, okay, you've missed your shot, but you can, there's a setup here for you, Alex, then maybe I'll trade the afternoon session. This feels like not very bright. So watching the IB on the ES, I'd say 64, 65s, that's what they would need to hold. If they don't hold that, they come down to 960s. If they start failing those, maybe then we go for that sweep that we were talking about with those equal lows. VIX lower day, 1822. 48 at 500. I see 57 up there. 57 at 500. It's not crazy big size. Remember last week we were talking about 1,000 lots. You got this value area high, PDC, PDH, previous week highs right here, top of that red box. Kicking myself, man. Kicking myself this morning. Got to let that go. If I'm going to trade well, I've got to let that go. I'm green, so I just like, it's no damage done, but boy, oh boy. Yeah, he pulled it now, Raphael, as well. He's down to what you said, 47 now. And they added some at 75 and 90s. So pullbacks here if they hold 32s, but you're starting to see a failed auction unless the ES holds its initial balance and we've just got a bit of divergence in the play. So ES back to IB right here, right now. Nvidia trying to go green, being sold into a little bit here. Do they hold this, or is this the start of a failed auction? ES so far is holding it, folks. It's holding its IB. That's why I watch both of them. ES holding IB very well there. Nice structure on the ESIB versus the NQ. The structure on the NQ is not very good by comparison. You can, it's not a bias. It's just like, I don't regret anything, Jake. Like I had my setup that I was looking for. It didn't come. It's not like I executed against the grain. I just didn't execute because it wasn't there for me. So I don't hate that at all, because most of the time it will help serve me really well. Yes, coming back to that IB again. Still low hanging fruit up higher right now. QQQ, that is weird. QQQ left a double top there. We've got a divergence between QQQ and NQ right now. NQ cleared the high, QQQ didn't clear the high. SPY cleared the high, ES cleared the high. That is weird. Very rare you see that. Still holding flow zones, still low hanging fruit higher right now. Still above the initial balance on the ES for now. If they start letting go and rotating, ES can do a bit of a deeper wash and it can come and back test 960. If they let go of the initial balance height, they can back test 960 and still be bullish. Okay, and still be bullish. That's the important thing. We have got those lows on the NQ at 75 or 80, whatever it is. They are there to be taken if they want to do it. Rotation starting. ESIB, key. Absolutely key. Back testing that level we just talked about now. We just talked about this. If they start getting heavy here, there is the opportunity to go back to the 80s on the NQ. ES is going to test that 60 we just talked about. If they don't find bids here, it's dangerous. You're going to start letting go of structure that we broke out from. If you think about this as horizontal structure that we broke out from, they will need to find bids here to go up. Same on ES. If they let go of this, this becomes more probable. If they hold this, this is still possible. You have next unhurt 12 minutes until lunch now. I'd also watch ES at its IB here if it starts rejecting that. Hear my stomach rumbling around. Accumulation, manipulation, distribution, maybe, but we've still got low hanging fruit above. Who's to say the manipulation isn't over? Who's to say the manipulation wasn't the dunk in Globex underneath the daily lows? That very much is starting to look like manipulation to me, but who knows? Right, watching this to see if we're going to come deep now for those 80s. Are we going to come deep for the 80s? Sure, I've got my right account ready that I want. Yes. ES still holding those 60s that we talked about, remember? Big level here on ES. It's just back testing levels. That's all it's doing right now. But if we're going to go heavy, we're going to come for 80s, joining more. Watching deep pullback flow zones and Globex here. If it holds Globex, it's a problem. If it holds 60s on ES, it's a problem. If we let go, we're going for those 80s. You want to see pops fail now, really. After a clear out. I'm guessing that's what you meant, Adam. Accumulation, manipulation, distribution, rather than the ticker itself, AMD. I didn't really think about that until after you said it, but 960s here on the ES. This is the RBS level for the ES intraday. Here's the wash, still in this, looking for a drive down. I want to see us take out 80s. Tiny, tiny, tiny size because I don't trust it. But I'm trying to play that initial balance failure. Failed auction here. Reabsorbing here. ES is absorbing on its uptrend right now. Oh no, what have I done there? How do I get out of that? Ah. How do I get out of full screen? Oh no, my ES has gone full screen. Or do I press that one? There we go. That freaked me out. Let me get this trend line in on ES. ES still holding 60s. So initial balance would be key. ES holding that RBS level for now. I'm having to sort of just change all the colors on my trading view for old resistance, which should become support. You will need ES to fail its auction of the IB. All right, if it doesn't fail that auction of the IB and reclaims it, we go higher. Remember, we're just at an RBS level. That's all that's happened so far. Just a drift down to RBS. If they hold this, we go higher. If they let go, it's a bigger move lower. Meta, not too far away from green. Nvidia closed its gap, found a few more sellers. Amazon, not too far away either. Amazing strength. The weakest one in the market right now, Tesla. So still higher lows on the ES. Still high lows. No lower low. No lower high, lower low yet on the ES. You'd want to basically see 65s rejected and a confirmation underneath 57s. So if they reject 65s and go under 57s, you might get the start of something, maybe, of like a pullback to VWAP based on the initial balance. If they don't do that, then we're just going to put on another higher low and it's going to go for another higher high. How long till lunch? 7 minutes. Ugh. Hate thinking about these positions into lunch. What if they just send it at lunch? Seen that the last few sessions I've got off into lunch, they do some dirty move. I feel like the last week or two, that's what they've been doing. Every time I get off, I come back to the screens and there's some dirty move been done. Still absorption on the tape. Still liquidity being added up higher. I'm not seeing that much liquidity lower yet. Still sellers 55, 60, 75, 80, 95, 500 now on the tape. Right, so they're adding sellers up high, trying to use it as a magnet to get up there. I'm not seeing a lot below. You've basically got really thin orders of like 10 and 15 lots down to full 10 and then basically nothing underneath. Not much for it to hunt right now. Yes, still absorbing right now on its RBS at those 60s, still being absorbed very well. You need to see them let go of those, and you need to see a new lower low on the ES and the NQ for confirmation of potentially a deeper pullback. Until then, we're just going to balance around and jump around. I'm just going to use the bathroom here, folks. Be right back. What are we doing then? Nothing. Same levels. Are we into lunch? Almost there. 4 more minutes. Sit here with you for a little bit longer. Still holding that RBS level. We can delete this. Zoom this out. Came a bit deeper on the VIX. So the battle here on ES is going to be 65, 965 versus basically 60. So what you need on all of these right now, all right, is if you're looking for a short, you need this followed by a break of here and then that. And then under here, I'd be taking a partial. If we don't do that, then we're just going to do this. And this is the low hanging fruit it's trying to get to. That's where it's trying to go. It's trying to close its gap to be fully efficient. Just be aware, if you're in anything right now, you are very, very close to lunch, at which point I'm going to get off. Mentally try and reset. Think or swim, just put in a crazy strange candle, probably a on SPY. It can do that. You'll have to like manually close it. They do that on Think or Swim. It's known for it. Normally hidden orders and stuff going in, which it reads, which haven't actually been filled. Normally see them pre-market though, much more normal pre-market than during the open. There is a way of deleting them. I can't remember. I haven't used Think or Swim for years, but there is a way of deleting them once they print. All right, so ES still not got through its initial balance. Is still in this sort of balanced range. Market is trying to make its mind up of what it wants to do next. You're very close to lunch now, folks. 90 seconds away. Back to the 60s again on the ES. You can see this battle here over and over and over again. Can it absorb 60s and get through initial balance to go and close its gap to PDC? Can it reject initial balance and go under 60s and underneath that old wick low, which is 57s, to go and clean up all the lows in this consolidation range? Yeah, the price action has been a bit shitty since we went sideways, unfortunately. It is what it is. Like, we can't do much about it. Sellers are up at 75, 80s, 90s, 500s right now. No one above that. They want the market up there. They just want to fill the gap. They want to fill the gap. All right, folks, I'm getting ready to get out of here. 50 seconds left. Green day. A good green day? No, not really. What are we at? Like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 900 bucks. Rubbish. Was I active? Yes, I was active. What was it like? Well, post-COVID, it's very different. You had the COVID crash, and then post-COVID, we were printing money. So every day was just up, 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 non-stop. The news was a little bit less. It was removal of red tape for, big tech and pharma. Really, was what it actually was, and it was just a drift higher every day, a drift higher, pretty much. That's how I remember it. Less focus on stuff we're focused on now, you know. All right, team. Job done. Game over. Those in Discord, I might come back this afternoon because I feel like I haven't really got my teeth into anything yet. So let's see. I'll set price alerts. Price alerts we can set up here, top side of this range, under here. I don't really want to touch this. We'll see what we get after that. And we'll go again tomorrow. Hopefully we get something better tomorrow. I'm really sorry, folks. I was very focused on looking for that short, which never came. It is what it is. I don't regret not taking the long, if I'm honest. Like, yes, I would have made a lot of money, but I'm looking at that first hourly candle, and it is a bit of a monster. So longs after 10 o'clock without any reprice feel very dangerous to me. So I don't really regret it. And yeah, those of you in Discord, speak to you there. Everyone else, I will see you same time tomorrow, as always. those interested, I do have like a little, it's not a sale, but like if you want all my products together right now, they are available right here. So you can save yourself some good money if you're interested in the Ninja Trader bundle with the Flow Zone course. You save yourself a good few $100. Until next time, team, I will see you tomorrow. Everyone in Discord, speak to you real soon. Peace out. Use hard stops. Be kind to each other. Be kind to yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Speak soon.